Hey, what's up? This is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel. Now, who's ready for some fighting words? In this video, I want to do a fight breakdown for Chris Kongo versus Florian Marku. Really quick, if you like the videos, please take the time, subscribe to the channel. Just takes one click. Also, if you could, hit that thumbs up button. It does show love and supports this channel. If you're unfamiliar with how I do a fight breakdown, basically, I just put both combatants side by side. I run down a list of attributes. Whoever has the point, that's the guy that I'm giving it to. And whoever has more points in the end, that's the individual that I'm going to go with. So without further ado, let's jump into this. I'm going to start off with creativity. Who has more creativity within them in their fighting style between Chris Kongo and Florian Marku? I'm going to go with Chris Kongo. I think he fights off his legs. I think he fights off his mobility. I think his mobility is a huge part of his fight game, between that and his jab. But it's not necessarily a real jab. It's more of a flickering thing just to keep, more or less to keep you occupied and a rangefinder for himself. But I think he's a lot more creative, just in the things that he does. I'm not saying he's not the most predictable guy in the world, but I am saying that he will do some very unpredictable things during the fight. Whoever you see in round 1 or 2 is not who you may necessarily see around 6, 7, 8. That's what I'm saying. So I got to give that one to Chris Kongo. Speed. I think it's a tie. But when I look at combinations, I just feel like Florian Marku throws faster combinations. I think both of them are kind of one-shot guys. But when you look at just a full-blown assault, I feel like Florian Marku has a faster, explosive, full-blown assault. That's what I think. I think when it comes to a full-blown assault, he's more explosive. So I'm going to give it to Florian Marku. Cardio. Florian Marku. Here's the thing. Chris Kongo, he does take time off during the rounds. See, the thing is, when you're as big as he is, and he is big for the division, but when you're as big as he is, you kind of get tired. When you're trying to do all this pizzazz and you're trying to be the next Roy Jones, first of all, there's only one Roy Jones. If that's just not naturally who you are and you got to think about a lot of your pizzazz, then you're not Roy Jones. And I think you need to stick to your fundamentals. But when you're doing that, you're just wasting energy a lot of times. All that movement, all that footwork, you're just wasting energy. All those things, you're just wasting energy. And he does take time off during rounds, and he does get tired. And like I said earlier, who you see in round 1, 2 is not who you're going to see in round 6, 7, 8, just because of all that mobility. So I got to give it to Florian Marku because he stays consistent as who he is from round 1 to round whatever. Defense. I'm going to give it to Chris Kongo because he's more defensive-minded. He's not an offensive-minded guy. He's the guy who's going to stay on the back foot. He's the guy who's going to be circling. It's not Florian Marku. Florian Marku is a seek and destroy type of guy. He's going to put his head down his chin and in his chest, and he's going to press forward. And whatever is awaiting him, he will meet it with open arms. You look at Chris Kongo, he's not going to do that. He's a very poised, very placid. That's a nice word. Placid type of fighter. I'm not going to say he doesn't want the smoke, but if he could, he would just hit you and get away all night. Versus, I might have to go and there might be a skirmish. And you can tell just his mentality. He doesn't necessarily want a skirmish. He doesn't want a shootout. All right. He wants to snipe from the outside. So when it comes to defense, I'm going to give it to him. Chris Kongo. Bodywork. Florian Marku all day long. Not even close. That dude will launch a full-on assault, okay, on the body. And he's good at it. They're sharp, crisp shots. They're not fully extended or anything. They're nice and short. And he has this way of, he'll dig it under the rib. He'll dig it under your glove. And he'll find an area in here. And he'll launch multiple of those little missiles under the ribs, okay? He's great at that. He is a great body puncher. Like I said, he's just going to march forward. He has a high guard, and he just goes straight in. And then he unloads. He unleashes everything he has. And everything is 115%. Nothing is wasted, okay? He's not going to throw a combination of 20, but you better believe the combination of 4 that he throws are going to be worth it. They're going to be precise, and they're going to hurt. They're going to be very, very painful. Let's see. Versatility. Chris Kongo. I spoke a little about his creativity earlier. In his versatility, he can fight on the inside. I'm not saying that he can't, but you can clearly see he's not comfortable there. You can clearly see, he's not willing to take punishment. While you look at a Florian Marku, he's okay with getting hit as long as he gets to hit you as well. You look at Chris Kongo, he's not okay with getting hit, and he's visibly not okay with getting hit. So can he do that? Can he fight on the inside? Yeah, he can fight on the inside. He's better on the outside. And I feel like he can mesh with styles more. Like he can deal with aggressive guys, but he could also box boxers. So for that reason, I got to give it to him. He is more of a pretty style, as Carl Froch like to say about him. Let's see. Footwork. Chris Kongo, again, I mentioned it earlier. I don't really need to delve into it anymore. But he has great footwork. He knows how to get out of there. He knows how to circle the ring. He has a full understanding of the ring landscape, and he utilizes it. Not many fighters utilize, the fact that they have so much space to operate. Well, Chris Kongo is not one of those guys. He will utilize the ring, and he's very smart with his legs. And again, his legs and his mobility is a huge part of his game, and he does it well. I'm not knocking him. He does it very well. Let's see. What do I have next? Mentality. Florian Marku, he's undefeated. Florian Marku, he's bringing it. All right, from round one, he's bringing it. Whatever he says in that press conference, he means it, and he's going to show up and he's going to try to implement every single word that he said. He's going to try to bring that into the fight. His mentality is unbreakable. He's the type of guy where, I'm trying to get you out of there in round one, and guess what? It's round 10, and I'm still trying to get you out of there. That has not changed. I haven't morphed into something else and said, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to try to win on points. No, I'm still trying to get you out of there. When you look at Chris Kongo, again, he doesn't really want, I'm not going to say he's a fighter who doesn't want to smoke, but he would prefer to do the beating. He doesn't like getting hit. Let's see. Combos. Florian Marku. Chris Kongo is more of a sniper. I said it earlier. He's just more of a sniper. He's going to stay on the outside, and he's going to either pot shot or he's just going to, do these one-strike little combinations. If he does something that hurts you, then, full throttle. But Florian Marku, for the most part, everything's a combination, and everything leads off that jab, follows off that jab, and he's coming to bring it. Like, that's the thing about Florian Marku I've always loved about him. You got to get your money's worth. He believes in himself, and he's truly on a journey. You see a lot of guys, they fight, but sometimes you question, why are you fighting? Because I don't think you're on a journey. I just think you're fighting because of the payday. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has an occupation, so I'm not knocking that. But I feel like fighting in particular is such a hard thing to do day in and day out. Training itself, the highs and the lows, training camps, cutting weight, all these things, living a fighter lifestyle, all these things, the dieting, all these things. Why are you doing it if you don't have a goal? And sometimes when I look at Chris Kongo, sometimes I'm not saying I don't see a goal, but I don't see as clear a goal and vision as I see with Florian Marku, if that makes any sense. Let's see. Chin, who's a better chin? Florian Marku, come on. That dude is built for combat. He has a big wide back, thick neck. Like, he's built for combat. That's literally what he is. He's built for combat. He's like a little tank. He's built for combat. I think Chris Kongo, his chin can be a little questionable. I think his chin has been questionable in the past. And I think he's the type of guy that could get cracked and could be out of there. And I think Florian Marku is the right type of guy to test that theory. Let's see. Best range. What's the best range for these guys to fight? The best range for Chris Kongo is going to be on the outside. Like I said, he's a sniper. Like I said, he likes to use his legs. He likes to move a lot. So he needs that space in order for him to operate. While you look at Florian Marku, he's going to put his hands up close, going to put his head down low, and he's going to go straight in. And he's going to, just go off that jab. But once that jab opens something up, or you react to that jab, he's going to open up. And he's going to unleash fury, period. Durability. Who's more durable? Florian Marku. I think he's just a more durable guy. Even his fight style suggests he's just a more durable guy. He's not a guy who's gonna, you're gonna bully him or anything like that. He's not the type of guy that you're gonna maul or anything like that. He's gonna be doing the bullying and he's gonna be doing the mauling. While you look at Chris Kongo, he doesn't like to get hit. I'm sorry. I hate to say it like that, but the reality is the guy don't like to get hit. So it is what it is. And, again, Carl Froch flat out said, you get this little pretty style where, you don't want to get hit. Well, unfortunately, guess what? You're in the business of getting hit, and you need to be comfortable with getting hit. When I step in the ring, I know I can get hit, and I'm comfortable with it. Not that I want to get hit. I do not want to get hit, ever. All right, ever, ever, ever. But when I get in there, I do know I'm going to get hit. I'm not the fastest guy in the world, so I know I'm going to get hit. All right, so it is what it is. But you can look at Chris Kongo and you can tell he don't want to get hit. That's that. Danger, my favorite category. Who's more dangerous? Well, let's look at Chris Kongo. He has 14 fights, 7 knockouts. Okay, we look at Florian Marku, 14 fights, 13 knockouts. You tell me who's more dangerous. Florian Marku is more dangerous than Chris Kongo. Florian Marku has a fight style that's geared around his dangerousness. Florian Marku is going to come in like a bat out of you-know-what, and he's going to come and bring it from round one. Chris Kongo is going to test the waters from round one and try to be cute and sweet and pretty, for a few rounds. And Florian Marku is not that guy. He's not the guy you're going to make some pretty highlight out of. No, it's going to turn into a fight, and it's going to turn into a fight real quick. And when it comes to danger, I think Florian Marku brings a sense of danger. I think he brings absolute danger. And I think he has the skills, and I think he has the abilities, and more important, the self-belief to get a guy out of there. He's dangerous all the way around. Not just with his skills, but with his mindset and his heart and his determination. And for that reason, I got to go with Florian Marku. I have him winning on my sheet, so I got to go with Florian Marku. I think he's going to win this fight.